Gun control is coming to the great state of Virginia. If you don't know, Virginia lost its House of Delegates to the Democrats, which are anti-gun, and also the Senate to Democrats, which are anti-gun. Luckily, we have a Republican governor who should protect us, but you never know. So let's go ahead and talk about the gun control that's coming to the Commonwealth of Virginia. What's up, Wolverines? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John Crump. I happen to be an investigative journalist, and this is John Crump News, which I host, and we talk about 2A every day. If you can do me a big favor, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm, and it helps amplify my voice, and we need to amplify the signal. Before we get into today's story, I'm going to show you something really cool. This is my AP5, which is a Century Arms HK clone, and check this out. This right here is a Safety Harbor Firearms KES, which is an incredible stock. I love it. It is awesome. Thank you, Safety Harbor Firearms. Thank you, Walter Keller. Go ahead and check out Dirtfoot Racing. That is his mini bike channel, which is kind of cool. He does a lot of really cool stuff. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Senate Bill 2 and House Bill 2. Both of these bills were introduced by Democrats, and they are in the judiciary. The session doesn't start until the end of January, so these bills were just filed. There will be no movement on there until at least January, and it will probably be March or so before they get passed or not get passed. We'll see. But let's go ahead and talk about what is in them. First thing that is in them is an assault weapons ban. Of course, assault firearms is what they call it. Basically, in a semi-automatic pistol or rifle that fires a centered fire round is considered an assault firearms. They want to ban the possession, the transportation, and the manufacture of these firearms. Of course, they exempt the police and military because, of course, they would. The government can have them, just not the civilian plebes that are out there, which I think is really ridiculous. So that is their big thing that they want to get passed, is that ban. If you are found with any of these firearms, that is a Class 1 misdemeanor. Hopefully this will not pass. We have a Republican governor who says he's pro-gun, but until I see it, I won't believe it because, hey, Jason Miyares, who's the AG of Virginia, also said he was pro-gun, but yet he is defending universal background checks. So until something gets to the governor's desk, we will not know for sure. I do know the lieutenant governor is definitely pro-gun, but the other two I'm not so sure about. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens if any of these get to the governor's desk. Hopefully they will not, but you never know. A second thing that this will do is say that any gun taken in a gun buyback, I don't know how you can buy something back you never own, but hey, that's a topic for another day, must be destroyed unless the owner explicitly states that they want it auctioned off. So right now, if a police department takes in a gun, they have to auction it off. But if this law passes, the guns must be destroyed, which means a lot of history will be lost to the crusher, which is sad to me, being a firearms historian myself, amateur at least. This is very, very sad. Speaking of being a firearms historian, I did write a book about some of the best firearms designers who ever lived. You can go ahead and buy that on Amazon or wherever books are sold. Another thing that the bill will do is say if you have been found guilty of 2 misdemeanors of any type besides traffic, you will lose your firearms rights. Now, there are some other type of things that would automatically disqualify you, such as assault, and also public drunkenness. So if you got drunk one night and the police arrested you, guess what? You lose your firearms rights, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. Now let's go ahead and talk about concealed carry permits. They will disqualify you from having a concealed carry permit if you sought mental help and you went to some type of rehab facility as well. So if you decided to go to a facility because your mental health isn't right, or if you check yourself into rehab, you're going to lose your ability to get a concealed carry permit, which is absolutely insane. You're basically telling people not to get help because you are going to take away their firearms rights. And I don't think that is right. And I also think that is going to hurt people seeking help. It's going to push people not to seek help where they need it because they are worried about losing their civil rights under Virginia law, which I think is unconscionable and unconstitutional. In fact, there's been a lot of different cases around the country that says a lot of what is being proposed by the Virginia Democrats is unconstitutional, and I'm sure that it will get knocked down if this goes to court. I know that GOA will be there fighting because GOA is located in the great state of Virginia, close to where I live at. We have to stop any of this stuff from passing. Just think about it. According to the law that they are proposing, a shotgun holding more than 7 rounds would be an assault firearm, which is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me, which you didn't, but I'm telling you anyway. Okay, so what can be done if you live in Virginia? The first thing you can do is you can call the Democrats that are going to back this bill or those that might back these bills. Not all Democrats in Virginia are exactly anti-gun. I wouldn't say any of them are pro-gun, but you have people like Chad Peterson that are definitely not anti-gun. Chad Peterson is a Democrat that is I wouldn't say pro-gun, but more pro-gun, and there's other people in there that are like him. So you can put pressure on those guys to try to get these bills killed off in committee or voted down when they do hit the floor. So we'll just have to push that. We're going to need another huge turnout like we did last time the Democrats took control of the legislature, and we were able to knock down a lot of the laws that they wanted to pass. That is when thousands and thousands of people came to Richmond and surrounded the Capitol while being heavily armed. Hopefully we can see some type of repeat to that, and we can get them to back down. Virginia has a strong gun culture, and with VCDL, Virginia Citizens Defense League, I'm sure we can put a lot of pressure on the legislature. We can also put pressure on Governor Youngkin, who has greater aspirations than just being the governor of Virginia. At least I believe so. And we can pressure him to say, if he signs any of these bills, we will never support him going forward. I do know he has an eye on the White House eventually one day, and we have to tell him that if he screws us on this one, we will not forget. We will not forgive. We will hold his feet to the fire, and we will end his political career if he screws the Virginia gun owners over. Hopefully, with that, we can get him to veto the bill, because there's no way in hell that the Democrats have enough to override a veto by Youngkin. So hopefully we can push that. We have a lot of power in Virginia over our elected leaders. I'm not even sure if I would call them leaders, our elected representatives. And we have to exercise that power. We have to put pressure on everyone. We have to put pressure on the Republicans to hold the line. We have to put pressure on the Democrats to not violate the rights of the Virginia gun owner. And we have to put pressure on the governor of Virginia to be our firewall against anti-freedom legislation. All right, guys, that's it. Just wanted to let you guys know what's going on in Virginia. It means a lot to me because I am from Virginia, and I will be out there on the streets fighting against these draconian regulations that some in the Virginia legislature want to pass. All right, guys, I love you very much. Stay ever vigilant, stay ever free. Keep in the fight. I am out of here. Once again, thank you, Safety Harbor Firearms, for the KES. It's an awesome stock, and you should definitely go check out Safety Harbor Firearms and tell Walter I said hi. All right, guys. Wolverines, motherfucker.